Hi everyone. I just wanted to go through real quick a way to make and then grade a quiz in Google Forms. I'm going to put myself up in the top here. Um, so in Google Forms, you've got a lot of options here. I'm in forms.google.com. You can go to docs.google.com/forms. There's a lot of way to get there. You can open up several things to get here. But once you're on Forms, you've got a lot of options. You can do an exit ticket. So just like a quick check to see if somebody paid attention to the video lecture that you made. This is a great option. You can do a full assessment, like a test or quiz. You can do a worksheet. You can get blank options too. I like to start with the blanks. So usually I'll either start with the blank form or a blank quiz. I'm going to start a blank quiz right now. So give it a minute and it will load up, assuming my internet decides to not be insane today. All right, there we go. So this is a blank quiz. Now I'm going to bring myself off to one side here. There we go. I've got some options set up for myself already. Right now, this tells you how many points you have. I haven't written any questions, so this quiz is worth 0 points. You can set up options for yourself so that things show up the same way every single time. Okay. And that's under quizzes. Okay. If you're given a quiz, if you want this to be graded and assign points for questions, you want to have this ticked on. That's off. This is on. You have some options. You can have the kids immediately after each submission have it graded. That works really well if you've got a multiple choice or true false going on. You can also do fill in the blank, but it's kind of finicky about giving points for short answers unless they're spelled completely correctly with just the right capitalization and like they didn't put an extra space at the end or at the beginning or something. It can be really picky. So I'd like to do this. I like to hit later after manual review. Okay. You also have the option to let the kids see the questions they missed and correct answers for the questions they missed. I like to turn this off for correct answers, at least until everything is released. Okay. When I'm ready to release it, I'll turn it back on. The kids don't know what they made until you release the grade if you have this later after a manual review turned on, which is a good way to cut back on like one kid takes it, figures out the right answers, and emails everybody else to say, hey, here's the right answers to the quiz. Okay. You also have some options. You can give them a progress bar. You can shuffle the orders of the question. You can submit another response. You only want to give them one. You get their email addresses. I would definitely collect their email addresses. You can restrict this to only Trinity Burns, and I suggest to restrict this to your specific area. So just limit that. Limit it to one response. That means the kids only get one shot at answering the questions. You can also have them be able to edit their answers. If you want them to be able to do corrections, you can turn this on and have them do corrections. You can also have them see a summary chart and text responses if you want to. I don't like to do that. I also usually don't do edit after submit, but I always limit them to one response. All right, you want to give your quiz a title. We're going to call this my fake quiz. You have a lot of options for questions. Okay, you can say, all right, I need all questions. I want to have a question that's multiple choice. This is the easiest type to come up with. Which color mixes with blue to get purple? Since we're doing I can't spell purple. Let's do a test. And you have some options: red, yellow, orange, and green. All right. So that's a multiple choice question type. You can also upload, instead of words, you can have an image uploaded. And you can upload those images from your camera, from a website you found, from photos you've uploaded to Google Drive, from Google Drive itself. Or this is fun and I love this, you can do an image search. So for the color red, if I want to give them an example of the color red, and I know that this is, real elementary question, but you may want to give a photo with each question. you may want your whole response to be a photo. So I can go through and Google, everything I need here, insert, and just keep going. I'm not going to do all 4, just so you can see how they look. Okay, you can, with your question, you can add images to your questions. You can add a video to your questions. So if you want them to watch a video and answer questions about it, you can add that here. And you can add different sections. So we'll come down and start a new question. I don't want to do a multiple choice question this time. I want a short answer. So I may say this one. Let's pull up a science question. Primates belong to which? Sorry, wait. And the animals that have opposable thumbs are classified as blank. And you have a blank question. I probably have misspelled opposable. No, probably. I don't know. Who knows, really, if I misspelled it? We'll see. Now, here's where we're getting to, answers, all right? If you want this to auto-grade for you, you're going to hit this button at the bottom that says Answer Key. So, let me hit done, and I'll show you where that was again right here. Answer Key, right here. I'm going to hit that and choose the correct answer. I'm going to choose red, and I'm going to say this question's worth 1 point. Now, you can assign any amount of points to this. You can make it a 10-point question, 5-point question, a 2-point question. My default is set to 2. So every time I create a new question, it automatically sets it to 2. So I'm done with that one. So I'm going to hit done. I'll come down here, and I do an answer key. My correct answer is primate. Primates. Okay. Now, I can add several options if I want to get real fancy and be like, just in case they misspell or leave a S off or whatever. I have the option to mark every other possible answer as incorrect, or I can leave that unchecked and it will let me decide what's correct and what's incorrect later when I grade this. Okay, I'm going to leave that unchecked because it could be, easy. Most kids are going to type one of these 4 things, but somebody might get cute and put every other letter capitalized. You know how kids can be. So I'm going to leave that unchecked so I can come back and give them answers, give them feedback, and give them credit. All right, let's look at the next type of question you can upload. You can have a paragraph length question. So write a paragraph explaining causes of World War II, whatever that is. And I'm sure you'll have more complex answers. I'm not a history teacher. Okay. This, you wouldn't give an answer key for this, but you can decide how many points it's worth. So, this is an essay question. It's worth more points than the multiple choice and short answer. Okay. You can do check boxes if you have an answer, a question that has more than one answer, which is possible, right? Which of the following would be classified as a linear equation if you're teaching algebra? So you got y equals 3x plus 2, or y equals x squared plus 4, or y equals x. Y equals the square root of, I can't do square root on here. And here's a great hint, if you're a math person, x cubed plus 5, right? If you're a math person, this is where images come in handy. You can look for equations here. Sometimes they'll pop up. You can also create them as images, and I will show you more how to do that if you need help, if you particularly want to use this, okay? And you can have more than one answer be correct. Let me look at the answer key for this. So I'm going to say, these 2 are correct. Done. So they need to answer with those 2 answers. All right, let's look at some other options. You can have a drop-down menu. I'm not sure why you'd want a drop down menu. I usually use that for a survey where you just get a pull down menu of responses. You can have them upload a file, which is great. It's going to ask you if you want to specifically do that, and you can say draw a picture of your dog and submit it here. Okay. You can choose what type of picture. You can have them do a drawing or an image for that one, right? You may want them to respond via video. You may want them to respond via a PowerPoint, a PDF, a spreadsheet, just a typed document, audio. And you can have them upload, up to 10 files here, which is really cool. That might be worth, for answer key, that might be worth 5 points on our quiz. I think that's a fun one. The rest of these are really good for surveys. So you get a linear scale where they can rank something on a scale of 1 to 5. How much do you like chocolate? I like it, or I hate it is number 1. It's my favorite is 5. And if that's something you want to do, like if you just want to have like a feedback question where you're asking them, how comfortable do you feel with this information? Or do you need more help with something or something like that? And you don't want to count it as credit, you can count it as a 0-point question. You can include like check-in type questions or check for understanding type things. You can get a multiple choice grid. This gives you a grid where you get rows with options and then columns with answer choices if you like. You can get a checkbox grid that does the same thing. The difference is with a multiple choice, they can only choose one thing. With a checkbox, they can choose more than one. You can have them respond with a date. So, when were you born? That could be responded to with a date. And then you can have them respond with a time. As in, what time did you finish the quiz? And you don't have to ask them that. It will record what time they take it and how long they took to take it. They only get one shot at this. When they go through it, they get one time. They can't leave it and come back and leave it and come back and leave it and come back. They get one time. All right. You can make certain questions required. Like you can make that how much you like chocolate is not a required question. You can have answer key if you want. You can also provide feedback. Now, this is for everyone. Everyone, once they submit their answer, will get this feedback. You can provide individual feedback as you're grading, and I will show you that once we get to the grading portion. Okay, so here's our fake quiz. There's a couple more things you can do if you like. If you hit theme up here, you can choose a background image or something. Let's say I think this one's cute. I like it. I'm going to insert that. Okay, some of them are even animated, which is cool. You can choose a theme color so that your, boxes have that border. You can choose a background color from their list. You can choose a font type. Basic is the best. It's easiest to read. They have some fancier ones. Playful's okay. Formal's okay. That script can get hard to read sometimes. And then basic is that's usually what I go with. You can also upload your own image if you like for a header. If there's something that you have that's great. Okay. And you can preview this. So if you hit the preview, it's going to give you a screen to look at what the kids would see. All right, guys. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go through and come up with some responses for this quiz so that we can see what it looks like when someone's responded. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Welcome back. I have, as you can see, one response on my fake quiz. I came through and took it. Don't laugh at my answers too much. But here we go. Let's see. So once you have sent this out to your class, what you're going to want to do is wait for the responses. You can have a time where responses are turned off. So, accepting responses when you're done, you can turn that off. And no one can submit answers past that point. That's a manual thing. It's not automatic. So you can't have this automatically set up to accept responses for a certain span of time, but you can manually set it to record those for a certain span of time. So if you want to have this test turned off at 3:25, then you'll have to go in there and do that by hand. Okay. All right. So you come down and you get a lot of information here. So first thing you see is this summary, question, or individual. Summary gives you a summary of everything that everyone sent in. So this, if I scroll down, just gives me a summary of everything that has been sent in. Okay. Question gives me a question by question breakdown of what people submitted and how many people submitted that. The way that you grade it, however, is to go to individual. Okay. So individual gives you each person by their email address. So it's very important that you have up here, you have collect email addresses turned on. Okay. And it gives you their email address, and it has to be a school email address along with all of their answers. Now, the way that you get from one student to the next is going to be these arrows here or this drop-down list. So you can pick by name, or you can just go through the list in order of the time they turned it in and scroll through and see their responses. So I answered these, answered a few incorrectly. I did some funny answers, whatever. Okay. So which color mixes with blue to get purple? That was red. We had that set to auto grade. So it gave no points to mark this one wrong because I answered the incorrect answer, right? All right. This one I answered on auto grade correctly. You can, let's say somebody typed the answer incorrectly. Let's say they typed misspelled primates, right? You can go and give them credit for it. So you can go and hit, 0 points for this. Or you can hit that they got 2 points for this. It's going to ask you to save that. Okay. You can go through the whole test and make changes before you hit save. You can also add individual feedback where you were like, good job, or don't forget that aliens have thumbs too. I mean, whatever it is that you're saying. You can also give a video feedback or a link. So this is going to be a video that you've pre-recorded, or it's a YouTube video. So you can give them a YouTube video to watch to get more information about what they missed, or you can give them a link to follow to get more information about what they missed if you like. Okay. You can here, I don't know, I'm a science teacher, that got no points because that's terrible. Please reread chapter 2 in your textbook. So let's say, like for this one, it was multiple correct answers. They got one of them. I want to give them partial credit. I can do that. I'm just going to type 1 here. Or I can use the arrows up or down to choose the amount of points that they get. All right. Let's say they submitted a file. You can open their file. It's not going to open in this window. Open it in another. You can get it. This was worth no points. You can put 0 there. You can leave it blank. You can add individual feedback and say, I hate chocolate. That's what you like. When were you born? I said yesterday. You can add some feedback there. Wow, yesterday. Save. I'm going to give you 1 point for that, for being born yesterday. And then what time did you finish the quiz? 3 a.m. I'm going to give you a point for that too. Out of 2. Add individual feedback. You should get some sleep. And hit save. Right, when you're done correcting, you're going to hit save. It'll take you back up to the top. I like to go through and grade the entire classes at once like this. So just go through and grade each individual person's. And then when I am done and ready for them to know what they made, I'm going to hit release score. And it will ask you, who you want to send the scores to. And if you want to send a message, and this message goes to everyone, your scores are ready. And then you're going to release them. They'll email the students what their score was. So I'm going to get an email right now saying that what my score on this test was. I actually just got it. I got a 10 out of 25. I am a solid F student. Now, what about when it's time to go and put this in the grade book? You're going to go to summary. as you scroll down, it'll tell you like what each person did, and it will have a list under individual scores for what each person made. So that's a pretty easy way just to transfer it straight into your gradebook. I just look at this list and jot it down in a gradebook and let it go. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions and comments via email, whatever way. You can get in touch with me. I'm happy to share all the information I have on Google Forms and how to grade things in Google Forms. I'll talk to you later. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Bye.